welcome to the first audio recording of TeamAggy.com, starring me, Moneemaker,
me, SebaKnight,
and me, Aggy.
and we'd like to welcome everybody to our first discussion, so bear with us as we get through this.
Hello.
Alright, first topic we got, the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Recently I thought they had a poor launch or had issues, but then I heard about the technical issues and ooh, that's some bad shit.
It is something you don't expect from Nintendo. I mean,
oh no.
I'm hoping it was just a executive decision, nothing to do with the developers, because it's the first problem I've heard from Nintendo in a long while.
Yeah. It's also the first console they've launched in a while. The Wii U didn't do so well either.
Yeah, but I don't think it had as many problems. I mean, what's the list I got here? Dead pixels appearing on the screen, controller stick delay, no headphone connection, but it is Bluetooth, which makes it a whole weird thing. Such small memory that you could only download one game after all the updates and initial downloading you have for any new console. And to top it off, that damn screen will scratch if it moves the slightest bit in that holster.
I know about the screen thing. That's a lot of issues. But either way, I think a patch would fix it. Or they'd probably just sell everybody an external kind of fucking hard drive to go with the Switch.
True, but to rush something like that, I mean, that is just bizarre coming from Nintendo. I mean, that's somebody you trust, man. I mean,
yeah,
consistency. That's their bread and butter right there.
The bread and butter, yeah. When you think of Nintendo, you think of quality. They always try to make sure things are polished. Sure, they had some screw-ups before, like the Wii U. Wasn't very hard to market,
And your controller would fly off.
If
you swung too hard. But they tried to fix that at least. That's something that came up later.
I think what they're trying to do is not compete with PlayStation and Xbox. Well, they're going to launch next year with the Pro and the Scorpion.
Yeah, I got my Xbox.
The same thing with the Wii U.
Well, they're trying for some more family-friendly, big party-style gameplay. There's no way they're going to try to compete with Sony or Microsoft, and they shouldn't. I mean, they're doing fine with what they do. I mean, hell, as long as Mario and Pokemon is around, they'll be set for another 30 years at least. Yeah. All right, topic 2. The Microsoft Xbox Game Pass. Pretty much the Netflix of games.
So, it will be kind of like GameFly, but online?
It'd pretty much be like Netflix. You pay around, $10 a month. They already have 100 games selected, and from the list that they showed, seems like some decent ones. A couple of Halo games, Terraria, some, worth spending your time on. What do you guys think about it?
If you have good internet connection, that really works out. But the reason I stick with GameFly is because, PlayStation Now even has a large library if you want to pay for that. It's just that the length of time it takes to download everything, and then you need the extra hard drive space. Or if you want, you just delete it, download a new one, delete it, download a new one. GameFly, even though it takes 3 to 4 days to get something, but at least I have the hard copy, and it won't take as long to start playing it.
That's a good point, but for some of the games you will have to install them, and they can take as much as an hour or not more.
But for some people who don't mind the wait, it is a good idea to check out these games before they get them.
Exactly. Download them, set them to download, leave, come back. You can play them offline, so there's never an issue of you being kicked off or logged out, anything like that.
Yeah, and if a game does well, it might actually sell some copies. I would like to think of it if it's gonna be like a Netflix of games, then it will be a good preview of what the game is like, or basically a lot of people are kind of iffy if a game will be good or not. It is always a risky buy.
Well, they're not gonna have any newer games on there. They're gonna have plenty of older ones. I mean, no one's gonna put out a AAA game for someone to pay just $10 to play it.
Oh,
and be done with it.
That this brings another good point. When I watch Netflix, I also watch these movies that I haven't seen or even will never see, like foreign kung fu movies. I'm just into that. So then we can get the chance to play some old games that we probably never got around playing.
Actually, that is another good point. It could introduce gamers to some old school stuff they've never played before, or games they were so on that they could give a shot. And it could get people involved with some other franchises, some that they missed out on, or ones that they never knew about.
The only thing is, it's only on Microsoft, so we're probably not going to expense all the games. But then again, there's the PlayStation Network, but I don't think it's quite the same.
I think it'd be great on PC.
That would be
the best place.
That would be the best place.
Well, for Microsoft, they were planning on taking out and putting in new games at the end of every month, sort of like with Netflix does for movies.
Oh yeah.
And so far, from what I've heard, it's going to do better than the PlayStation Store. They have PlayStation Plus, which is so-so. The selection's limited.
And the now is not that very good either.
Yeah. They're kind of stingy when it comes to that. And for PC, it could be pretty good. I mean, when I think of a big selection of games, I think of Steam. Not so much as a gaming pass type of thing, but just in terms of selection. I mean, Steam might be the one to do it. I mean, they're good enough right now where they don't even have to consider the thought, but you never know if anybody's going to make it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Steam would.
Oh yeah, Steam is pretty much the place to go to get your PC game.
Yeah, even GameStop, if you want to buy stuff online, they give you a Steam code. They gave up on their thing.
All right, and speaking of GameStop, topic number 3, GameStop is closing more stores, now over 100.
Ooh boy.
I think that's like, from what I read, that's less than 5% of their stores.
They got them spread around, and you got to admit, if there's one thing you can say about GameStop in a positive light, they know how to stick around, even if you don't want them to.
Yeah, like with the crazy exclusives they put with the games and
the pre-orders.
They got me with that once or twice. Screwed me over once or twice, but again, that's a whole new reason to hate them. Well, not so new.
Like if they stick with their plan that they're going through now, they will be out in like the next 15 years, or at least in a smaller amount of stores, because they've got online type of competition. While they may not have physical competition, they do have a lot of people who'd rather go online and not deal with the merchants trying to sell them every little thing with the pro membership or with the pre-orders or with. It feels like so much work just to get a game now.
Yeah, it's like it's like what happened with Blockbuster when the Netflix and Redbox came out. It's probably gonna happen to GameStop.
Hollywood Video too.
Well, hopefully if they die, they stay dead, because before GameStop they had I think at least 2 other names. Just slowly starting to trying to survive through the gaming droughts or whatever reason they had for going out of business, which I'm sure had to do with shitty customer service.
What were their excuses? Like poor holiday sales, and they're blaming the gamers?
Yeah. They're saying that no new consoles coming out, so not a lot of games being purchased, which is crap. Every time we've had how many Call of Duty games for PS3 come out?
Oh boy.
That's their bread and butter right there, which at least 70% of their sales.
Yeah, and
I miss Game Crazy. The only reason I shop at GameStop is because Game Crazy went down with Hollywood Video. I used to go there all the time. They give me a lot more money for my trade backs and my sales. Yeah, they clean your disc.
Oh, nice.
So much better customer service. That's what sucks. I mean, we get a lot of independent gaming stores that try their best to last, but with GameStop spread around, it's tough to compete with a chain. Like imagine you had a good burger shop that sold cheap burgers and is trying to compete with McDonald's. That's tough to do. And anytime one of those goes out of business, it's always a shame. Everyone in the neighborhood, sheds a tear because it feels like they lost something valuable, which they did.
But McDonald's is I guess GameStop and McDonald's is a good comparison, because McDonald's is.
I think I'm giving GameStop too much of a compliment by comparing them.
Yeah,
No, they also got Game Informer with them, and that's the 3rd best-selling magazine in the world.
Actually, that is a decent magazine. I mean, I haven't subscribed lately, but that is one of the better qualities.
Oh yeah, we used to be subscribed. My brother used to be subscribed to Game Informer. It's pretty good stuff. So maybe they should just stick with publishing instead of selling games.
Well, again, if they're gonna keep screwing over their customers, they're not gonna get decent business. I mean, the reason people still go in there is because of their selections. I mean, Redbox doesn't have enough. Obviously, I mean,
3 games.
Their bargain bin has more of a selection than the Redbox does, and if a store actually came out to compete with them, something that could be made a chain, then they definitely would be in trouble. I often hope that, wish that Steam would make a physical store, and if they did that, GameStop would be wiped from the planet.
Lord Gavin will rule all games.
I don't think anybody would complain.
Nope.
All right, topic 4. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really glad to see Crash Bandicoot back again, and no more crappy sequels. We're gonna see him back in the originals, but toned up, man. We're gonna see him high def.
I'm so happy because I didn't get to play the originals when I was a kid. I played the demos on those jump pack things. I'm gonna buy all those new ones.
I had the Game Boy game. Oh shoot, what's it called? Crash Big Adventure. Tons of fun. I just had endless fun.
Oh, this is gonna kick the shit out of that, man. If you guys, since you guys, I'm sure you both have PlayStations, you can just download the original games on the PlayStation Store. enjoy them a bit now. Got to get the old school flavor before the new one comes out.
Cool. I'm still aiming to get that PS4, but let's not stray off to topic. Yeah, I'm very excited that games are getting like remakes and reboots, as long as they're done well. It is always a little risky business, there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you give it enough time, every gamer would love to go back and play a classic game. They did that with a couple of the famous PlayStation 2 games, the Sly Cooper series, Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank, toning them up to an HD quality, but keeping the gameplay exactly the same.
Heck,
everybody loved.
They did it with the Halo games. They're doing it with the Halo games too.
Final Fantasy as well.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy. Now it's like
7.
Yeah, they're doing it in
can't wait.
Sort of, I think, Kingdom Hearts kind of style brawl, but with RGB elements. So I am looking forward to it. As long as they're done well, like either you make the gameplay where it's more fun, or like you tune up the old gameplay, or it just feels more tighter and more well controlled.
I think they should do that less for newer games, like The Last of Us and Tomb Raider. They had a remastered edition, like.
Like that. What the heck was that?
It worked really well with. Because it was kind of an old. If you went back, you could see the faults, and now it looks newer.
They had tons of content for that to change.
Bethesda is the bug is the feature.
But the game that just came out, it's kind of like it's too soon.
Yeah,
definitely they should go back to classic era and remake the game.
Yeah, just go back to classic era.
I'd pay for that.
So yeah, it's like the opposite of movies. We enjoy a good reboot or remake, given it a good amount of time, because it's something that works. That we're just getting a little upgrade on. Better than certain sequels for games. Like, what's a couple from the past? I heard that they're going to do the same thing for Spyro, which again was classic.
Oh, if they do that, I'll be stoked. I never got to try the old Spyro games. All I had was the Game Boy games.
Yeah, after the original 3 for the PlayStation, pretty much the quality of the games, I think a majority of Spyro fans would say, dropped down. I mean, seriously went down. And if they were to go back to the original 3,
even like now with the Skylanders, they've like upshown him, even though that's his game.
You
don't even see him in Skylanders anymore, and he's the one who started that off.
I'm pretty sure they just slapped him on, just like, hey, people like Spyro. I'm pretty sure this will help.
Poster boy kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's slowly but surely they kind of took over his game. Mm-hmm. Poor guy.
Yeah, but I would love to replay the old games, especially since like the games I got were like the old Game Boy games. That was my childhood console, and the games I tried.
If they remade the Legacy of Goku, I would play that in a second. Like I miss that.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're definitely going to see a lot of people buying it. I mean, when the original 3 came out for the PlayStation Network, it became the top. It got on the top 10 list of downloaded games, and all 3 are still there. I'm pretty sure. So we're definitely going to have some old school fans, and it's definitely going to bring in some new ones.
Oh yeah.
So who knows? This might set a
this generation. This generation should try some like the old school games. Old school games had that just.
Classic feel.
I don't know how
apple pie sort of.
Yeah,
gaming.
They should totally experience this. I mean, a lot of this new generation of games. I don't know, like there's fun, but
the old ones taught you to be like you were forced to be a hero in the old ones. Now you can like do kind of crappy stuff. Like let's say with the old Spyro, you were a hero. You're forced to be a hero. You could do little funny things like burn people's pants and stuff.
It was cartoony.
Yeah, but like now you can't give that to a little kid anymore because there's no games like that out anymore. Now you give a little kid like a mature game because that's all they're making. That's all that makes money. But like I would love to give my son like a Spyro game that doesn't look like, because now it's competing with the newer games.
Yeah, something soft and simple, but fun that anybody can play. I mean, even I'm sure plenty of adults play the original Crash because not only was it just fun to play, it had some difficulty to it. I mean, anytime a kid finished a level, their hands were sweating. They were like, "Fuck yeah!" Now I don't know if they said that, but that's how they felt.
Pretty advanced vocabulary.
All right, to bring the topics back to a positive gaming light, topic 5.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Newest game by Nintendo, and man, it's a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, it's probably the only reason you get the Switch now.
So far, that would be my only reason.
Is it their first Zelda game? No, it's not their first Zelda game, but it's the first, like, kind of 3... No, it's not even that. And yet
first open-world Zelda game.
First open-world Zelda game. I'm surprised. They usually always... I mean, it is always kind of open world, sandbox.
They
but
made
it
it seem open. I mean,
make it feel open.
It's limited where you could go.
Yeah.
But it still painted a big world for you. It made you feel that way, like an Ocarina of Time. It was great at that. But this is a pretty kick-ass game. I mean, if you check out any reviewer, they've given it a decent score, and it's definitely deserved it. This is pretty much like a animated cartoon Skyrim.
Oh.
It is on that level.
I like a lot of friends are like talking good about it. Once I get my own Switch, definitely gonna play it.
Yeah, and despite the game itself being badass, the fact that it's open world now makes it a whole different kind of Zelda game. And what do you guys think about that? You know, making a game, making a game bigger, more sandbox-like versus like keeping it on not a track, but more or less a straight line.
I feel like it's almost required nowadays because like you play certain games and it's fun to do the track, but it's hard to play games like that because you already know what's gonna happen.
Because you got to make it fun. You got to make it at least replayable. Like, I want to go back and do that level again.
Mafia 2 was a track, but it was open world at the same time. Like you couldn't do anything other than missions.
Okay.
And yet you still got to go around the city and do random stuff, but not as random as Grand Theft Auto. You just got to drive. I think like just the fact that it was open world made it much better.
Another game I like to mention is the Saints Row series. I played the 3rd and 4th. They look more of a tongue-in-cheek, but the world wasn't very, I would say, fleshed out. Or art design wise, it wasn't. There was differences like that, but it didn't feel quite right. But the gameplay elements were pretty fun. They had to give you a nice variety of side quests as well as main missions.
And
that's a good point.
Open worldness helped out with that.
Yeah.
Open world needs to be a lot more. Like, you can't just make it open.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't always work. Like, with Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity, while it was open and there were people walking around, it felt like everything was kind of splattered in. Same with Watch Dogs. They just kind of threw stuff in and said, this was open world.
In there, just like it was sprinkled in.
Like, the good sandbox would feel like a big old box of Legos. You got all these little nifty little blocks to play with.
That's for you to do.
Yeah, all spread out
and reasons behind it.
Yeah.
Reasons that this is here.
You can't just have a sandbox and have just sand. You have
shit scattered around.
Like Bethesda and Rockstar are great at making open worlds because the places where everything is and what you do makes sense.
Oh, definitely. You know,
it feels
Grand Theft
real.
Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption. They've pretty much got open worlds, nailed. But despite that, I still think linear games still hold appeal.
If you can do the pacing right. Like, the reason everyone loves the Zelda games, so good at the storytelling. Very hard to heard of a bad Zelda game besides the second one.
Like games like Uncharted, which are linear, they work really well, and they're very good. But I think after a certain point, people are not going to want to play games like that because it's absent of replayability.
I get what you mean, but if they add a little or change a little, they can make a linear game work. Like for Uncharted, there were plenty of segments that were fun, that were worth playing again. Also adding the trophies and challenges for you to do. Give you a whole new reason to go back into it. Even if you had your fill, now you had something to earn.
Yeah.
And another thing that helped out is, even though it was linear, they made it feel open, and that can make a huge difference in games, especially old school ones, like some PlayStation games, like Spyro, for example. Pretty straightforward. You get a small area to explore, but they made it feel huge.
Yeah, I would like another thing I like to mention is the old Banjo-Kazooie games. I play that. It was kind of open, but also kind of linear. It was in that nice, sweet middle.
Space. That's what it was. A lot of space in there. A lot of stuff jam-packed into the levels.
Oh, yeah. Like, even the hub felt like a big open world.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the transition between levels. It was done so well. And I kind of missed hub worlds now.
Yeah, if they pay attention and they do it well, linear games are never going to be a problem. Hell, I remember Conquer, the little red squirrel and crazy shit. Yeah, linear game, but you never noticed that. It was too much fun, it never bothered you.
That was a linear game? I really didn't know that was.
You would come back to certain areas, but it wasn't some, open.
It felt open.
Game.
It felt open.
You'd have to go to a certain place in order for you to come back and go to another one.
So yeah, sandbox, linear. They gonna work differently, but what makes them work is how you treat them. Like a linear game, you gotta treat it like a good story. Mm-hmm. Like you can make it a little.
You gotta focus more on the details.
You gotta focus on the sandbox game. You gotta give
for content.
You gotta need content. Yeah.
Like the Fallout games. Like I think I remember Fallout 3. They said with the story and side quests,
there's so much.
You could get over 100 hours worth of gameplay with that, which I would not be surprised.
Fallout 4, I'm often stuck base building. A lot of people don't like the base building, but
more games need base building, especially in war games. Those are fun.
So between you two guys, between open world and linear games, where do you stand on preference?
I'd rather play an open world game. I love Uncharted, but damn, I'd rather walk around.
Don't make me choose.
You're kind of stuck on the center there?
I'm stuck in the center.
The best thing that they've been doing that has actually been started with Dragon Age Inquisition is having little areas that are big, and yet, like with the new Shadow of War, it's going to do it too. You go to a certain area, it's big, you can explore it, it feels open, but it's not as big as the actual world. And then you go to the next area, and you can choose which area to go to, and it's a good size.
Okay, so sort of
kind of linear, it's like
but
in the middle.
More some breathing room.
Yeah.
Okay, topic number 6, the legend and myth of gaming. That's right, we're talking about Half-Life 3 and the new concept art they've got going on, occasional rumors, wondering if indeed that legendary game is being built.
So like, is this like some new recent concept art, or we're talking about the old concept art that was like?
So there's been some concept art that's been released, and apparently it looks great.
Well, they're doing their best to keep quiet about it. I mean, as much hype as this has had, this has more hype than like Duke Nukem and Doom and every game for the past 5 years hype put together. This is something that has become the Atlantis of gaming.
I think it's because of the Barbra Streisand effect. Valve won't talk about it, but just makes us want it more. It's like the Atlantis now.
Yeah, because we can trust Valve. They've always given us good products, and they've mentioned that if they were gonna make this, it'd be its whole new game, not episodic like the other series. And now that we have new consoles out and new consoles coming out, it's the perfect time for it. Because if this does come out, I have no doubt it's going to be Game of the Year material, and it's something that's going to be remembered for a long, long time.
I hope so. Like, we know what happened to Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, but who was in charge of that shit?
Well, Gearbox. Which is, I guess, the only good game they really made was the Borderlands, but you can argue about that.
Yeah, they were not ready for that. But when's the last time Valve ever let us down?
Oh.
When's the last time that the great Gabe let us down?
I guess there's some Steam controversies, but when it comes to the games, they always, producing
always
quality.
deliver.
On the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna hold my breath since some gamers have for the past decade.
Yeah,
so I'm going through like some of the old console art. It looks like it's gonna take in a more wintry place.
They did show a bit of that near the halfway point or end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. So they could pretty much take it in any direction, and I'm pretty sure gamers they could put it in the desert, and we're not gonna question it because we know it's gonna be awesome.
I don't know. I
didn't think this would ever come out because they've been so successful with Steam and Team Fortress.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't need to make this.
But
if they haven't making it, how long have they been working on it? Like, how much has gone into it, and how long do we have to wait? Maybe this is just concept art of them starting.
This is something you can't be rushed. I mean, even with like the best of Halo games and Uncharted games, this is something that's going to take much more time to fine tune. This is like a combination of Oscar-winning summer blockbuster, like the greatest film of the decade type stuff. You know what I mean? For gaming.
Basically described all the hype that this has gotten.
Oh, this is hype incarnate, man, and this is something that everybody wants to play. That even if you've been playing games for at least 8 years, you would have heard of Half-Life in some way or form. Even a whisper, across the hall, Half-Life, like it's
that
some
one
mystery.
guy walking around doing that.
Where carrying some picket sign that Half-Life 3 is nigh. It is that big for gaming. I can't think of any other game that people have wanted so bad.
Oh yeah. You can only speculate what it's going to be like, though. Like, is it going to be like a shooter? Is it going to be added new gameplay elements?
I don't think it's going to stray too far. I think it's still going to be a first-person shooter, but...
Do you think they're going to make it open world? Speaking of which...
It's possible.
Oh, that would just immediately hook you in, right?
Yeah, but
base building
Valve has always been doing the linear type storytelling.
That's true.
So, if it's going to be a bit of a new experience for do a open sandbox kind of Half-Life, but that would be cool.
So much speculation. Like, we don't know what could be in this one because so much time has been taken into it. Most likely.
I'm just thinking it's going to be epic linear. For sandbox, it's going to be interesting if they ever do decide to do that, since the main protagonist doesn't talk, and so he's just going to, I guess, go around. You're going to have messages pop up on the screen. Oh, do this, yada yada yada.
I mean, side protagonists work, but I guess it's kind of more frustrating with Gordon. I know how to say his name. With Gordon, he's silent, but the characters talk to him like
as if he says everything back.
Says everything back.
They don't notice.
They've acknowledged that he doesn't talk.
Oh.
Even I've seen in Half-Life 2 when he's in an elevator with Alex Vance, she says, you're a man of few words. They're acknowledging that this guy doesn't fucking talk. And they're okay with it. They've painted enough personality in his concept art from his character. I mean, you never see his face in the games. He's got glasses, short hair, and a goatee. He's basically like what every engineer wishes he could be. Genius hero swinging a wrench, cracking aliens on the skull.
Crowbar, you got it.
There you go. I mean, he's painted that picture. I mean, how many times do you picture that character? I mean, besides the cover is where you know his face.
Pretty much.
For Half-Life 2. And even after that, when you put the disc in and you think of Gordon Freeman, that picture always pops up in your head in gameplay. You never need to see that box again, and that face pops up.
Ah, yeah. I'm just kind of wondering how they're going to handle Half-Life 3, but we can only speculate,
Oh, yeah, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. We're used to that when it comes to gaming.
I'm just hoping, we get a decent game, not Duke Nukem Forever. Please, Valve. Please.
All right. Topic number 7. The YouTube gaming reviews restrictions.
Ooh, boy. It's been a bit of a big old war going between reviewers and the game makers.
Yeah, but people have been constantly fighting about it. Fair use, fair reviews. I mean, it's the benefit to the consumers as well to businesses, as much as they don't want to admit it or spend the money to hear the truth.
Yeah, when I would think of that, I always think of my favorite reviewers, like Jim Quisition. I love that guy. He often has to fight with copyrights. Like the recent one, he actually had a trademark copyright when he did his little spiel on Fur Fun, that little knockoff ukulele game. If you ever heard of it, that's what's kind of new, because a lot of people often do copyright strike every time they say, "Ooh, this game is kind of bad." And it's kind of rude how they can just silence this free speech just because of YouTube's copyright system.
Right. Well, at first it seemed like just shitty games that the developers try to hide. Like with Total Biscuit, he reviewed some game. I can't remember the name.
I know what you're talking about. And
Gary Survivor or some shit like that. You're some guy in a jungle, and the game was just
Day One Survivor.
Garbage. Yeah, complete and utter shit. And he let us know it was shit. And I guess they didn't like him saying that.
Yeah.
They put a copyright strike on him. They didn't review the reviewers. And then we found out that they actually stole some of their concept art and some of the artwork in the blood that they used from Google search.
Oh boy!
It was a bad fucking situation.
Soon after that, it was just regular games that the developers stopped reviews on. I mean, other games that Total Biscuit reviewed on. Angry Joe, he definitely voiced his opinions on this. That it's complete crap. I mean, you are allowed to give a fair review right now to the point they have to put in the YouTube descriptions. It's fair use. They have to use law in order to defend their their videos.
Yeah, that's the only, pretty much the only defense. It's fun because I think Jim Sterling actually figured out a workaround. Oh shoot! If only I got
taking out the audio or certain things they couldn't jump on.
It starts out really well. With Let's Plays, I understand if you don't want us to do that. That's okay. It's your game that we're kind of going straight through.
That's revealing content.
But when it's reviews, you're just kind of being picky and trying to pick and choose who. Exactly. That's like Nintendo only letting people review their games if they're good.
Hell,
and they got a blacklist.
Pretty much.
Oh, that kind of reminds me. Remember Shadow Mordor when they gave out the review copies, but they had that contract where they say you can't really say anything bad about the game. You remember that?
Yeah, that.
Ubisoft did an embargo pass a week after their game was released. Unity, so you couldn't find out that it was garbage at first.
Yeah, that's complete shit, man. I mean,
I'm glad
there is no fucking way that they should be able to do that. I mean, hell, if we have people who could review the flavors of chips that you buy in stores, there's no reason that we can't have this going on. I mean, it benefits everyone. I know that some developers are so greedy that they don't want to admit if something's shit. When they give us a bad product. But hey, guess what? If you put out a shit product, we're not gonna buy it, man. I mean,
it's a big
we
investment.
want to buy good games. We are willing to give you our money. Work with us, man. It's not that hard of a choice to make here.
Yeah. The main problem is how YouTube handle copyright. It's just utter trash. It's skewed against the video maker.
YouTube hasn't given much of a shit about reviewers on YouTube.
I remember Nostalgia Critic even raised so much of a shit. Like everyone's making.
I saw his video.
Where's the fair use? And I don't think anything changes yet. And then they added YouTube Heroes, which remember included the flagging thing. What the hell was that?
Oh yeah, trying to get viewers to work for YouTube for free. Yeah, that was a complete dickish move right there.
YouTube, what are you doing?
Like, there are some good developers, like Rockstar has on their site what you can use and what you can't use. And their only issue with it is that you don't use video that hasn't been released yet. Like, if they send you a review copy, you can't.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah, that's completely
That's a
fair.
great way,
that's
and they put it right on their site.
Yeah.
They're working with the reviewers. Hey,
yeah, work with the reviewers.
Just don't, cross these lines, and it's completely, fair not to cross those. I mean,
yeah,
no
don't do what they did
I
with.
wouldn't want spoilers for my game if I put one out.
Don't do what they did with Shadow Mordor and try to censor the reviews. So it was funny. I heard that Shadow Mordor was a pretty good game.
It's a great game. Like,
so why did they have to do this? They should at least have confidence in the games. Always have confidence in the games, even if it's shit. Like
except for you, Ubisoft. Except for you, don't have confidence.
Yeah, don't stand by your shit, Ubisoft. We expect better.
Please don't learn from what you did with Watch Dogs and Unity.
All right, topic number 8. Apparently, gaming is making teenagers sexist.
Yep, got the article right here. Video games like Grand Theft Auto that show limited view that of the value of woman makes teenagers sexist, study says. An article posted in the Daily Mail by Daniel Bates. And going through it seems very biased.
I mean, there's not much we can say about this. It's just another one of those gaming is bad for people BS that we've gotten from news and all kinds of journalists for years, except now it's talking about sex. And that argument is such shit that the only two pieces of, I guess the closest thing you could say to evidence would be Grand Theft Auto and Tomb Raider.
Yep, it's another little thing. I mean, no, I don't know what else other games they have, but this little study seems sketchy already. I mean, they don't mention if there are any boys and girls in this study. That's a kind of big topic thing. Like, if they say it was just boys, then
yeah, I mean, teenagers.
Oh, we don't even have to check to see if this is viable. We know it's crap. I mean, hell, if you take a Grand Theft Auto 5 game and your biggest problem with it is supposed sexism, you're clearly not paying attention to what Grand Theft Auto is. I mean, personally for me, I enjoy driving on the sidewalk in that game and sending NPCs flying across the screen. Now, does that make me a reckless driver? I don't think so. I don't recall ever driving on the sidewalk, and it's not ever going to make me do that. It's complete crap to think that behavior in games translates to real life. They've done studies on this so many times, like having a kid shoot a real-life gun since he loves playing Call of Duty, and he shot it once, and he never wanted to pick up that gun again. He was completely done with it. It baffles me that this is still happening.
Yeah, like, it's always, no one really wins in this kind of thing. Like, just making our children all bad and stuff. And, like, we always argue against them, and they just, like, they dismiss us. Like, no, we gamers know what we like. Listen to, at least give us a voice. Don't try to shun us.
Yeah, we need somebody out there telling the truth. I mean, there's been studies posted that gaming actually helps. I mean, hell, it's another way to vent out. I mean, would you rather have somebody hitting people with cars in real life or hitting computer-generated people? I mean, it's an easy choice to make. And false studies like this and information on the news just helps to hurt what gaming is really
about. Oh, yeah. As I go to the article, the person that was doing the study, Douglas Gento, has a history of attacking games and betraying women in a negative light. Sometimes they are portrayed negative, but there are still positive portrayals of women. Like, they mentioned Lara Croft. Lara Croft is a good protagonist, a female protagonist. She's strong, smart.
Yeah, and the only thing they're bringing out of Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, is the fact that she wears a tank top and short shorts. Well, guess what, assholes? What else are you going to be wearing in the jungle and the desert? You're not going to be wearing a sweater and some sweatpants. It makes sense what she's wearing. The fact that she's attractive doesn't take away that she is a heroic character. Hell, the last 2 games gave her much more personality than the other ones have, made her human, made her someone to look up to. Hey, hell, whether you're a male gamer or female gamer, she is someone that you like.
Yeah, like another game. I'm surprised they didn't bring up Bayonetta, which is the when you think of sexy female characters.
You figured they would. That's over the top enough for them to squeeze all kinds of bullshit out of them.
Maybe they just don't like Japanese games. Like,
maybe
no.
they didn't put any effort into it, which is what we can safely assume.
I mean, this is just one article, so we can only assume as much, but already it seems like this study is biased. Like, they just want to try to find proof.
Biased? That's putting it subtle.
Putting it subtle, yeah. Like, I'm going through it. And the question I think they use to see if a game is sexist is if it's like a yes or no question. The yes or no question is, a woman is made mainly for making and raising children. Like,
yeah, in what way has that ever been shown in a game? Has there ever been an option? Oh yeah, there's a female character. Oh yeah, make her your wife and to do household chores. That never happens in any game ever. I don't know where they get this from.
I mean, there's Skyrim when you have your spouse, but that feels a little artificial.
Yeah. Not even that. They're just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
Hey, bring them with you on a quest.
Yeah, they can come out with you.
Cut some Bayonet's head off. They've got nothing here. They've got no bearings. They got no leg to stand on in this. It's another piece of crap that I'm sure is going to fade away with time. But it just sucks to hear this type of stuff.
And they also said that found that 80% of female characters are sexualized or scantily clad. Like, how do you measure that?
Well, that I can't fight against
if
too
you're
much.
Say Lara
a lot
Croft
of
is scantily clad. I mean,
well, if you compare it to certain games, obviously not. But that okay, I will bend a little bit. We do have a lot of sexualized female characters.
Yeah.
But
you
can't say much about that.
It's the
video
consumer
games
that really decides that one.
Yeah.
Sex sells. What are you gonna
yeah.
do? But at least they have plenty of games where you could, pick your character, whether it's male or female. And since there's been a growing number of female gamers, hey, their influence is going to shape the markets. Yeah. Whether it's something to do with hot women or hot men. Yeah. Hey, as long as the gameplay's fun, we're not going to complain too much about it.
Yeah. Like, look at Mass Effect. I mean, the most recent one, Andromeda, that just came out, all those female characters are ugly. Yeah, we still buy it.
Well, that's poor animation. That's not. That's got nothing to do with the characters themselves.
She looks nothing like the model. The female writer looks nothing like the model. Just saying. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. Well, you seem passionate about it. We'll bring that up in another discussion.
If you're gonna do these studies, see if these games are racist, sexist.
Racist. Yeah, hey, that's the first time when Resident Evil 5 came out. They pulled some type of racist bullshit argument. There's a white guy shooting black guys. Bam, it's racist. Slap
He's
that tag
in Africa.
Yeah, what do you expect? Where do you expect to find Africans?
Yeah.
Hell, if he was in Antarctica shooting black people, I would think there was something up with that.
Yeah, why are there so many black people here? Why is he killing them all?
Yeah, like, we'll expect fighting zombie penguins.
Yeah.
No, wait, are they in Antarctica? You know what?
I have no idea, man, but you're going to start giving some developers some ideas.
Yeah, but...
All right, well, that's our final topic. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoy talking about it, and we hope you get to hear our new discussion soon. Thank you for listening in.
I'm Aggy with TeamAggy.com.
I'm SebaKnight, who's also Team Aggy.
Moneemaker here. Thanks again for listening.